Now, ladies and gentlemen, as many of you know, Valve have seemingly taken off the holidays, with the last second update we got last week with a singular line of text to fix grenades, which for some clarification, I'm not mad that we got that. It was a much needed fix where you could throw grenades and, well, refund them during the round. But for the video's sake, that was the last we've heard from Valve. Now, there is a chance of this video getting posted on the 29th of December, that we could have an update being tonight on Friday, or sometime early next week, but most likely we won't see anything until well after New Year's. With people getting new PCs and money to build a PC for Christmas, there's going to be a lot of new Counter-Strike players, and if there isn't any content soon, well, they're going to leave and go pick up something else. Within this next month, I think we'll see a few updates with some major bug fixes, but also a new case, so we'll get some cosmetics for those skin enthusiasts, and maybe some new maps added to the game as well. Aside from that, it seems like the days of getting 2 to 3 updates a week dating back to the limited test are officially over. Getting one update every 1 to 2 weeks really seems like the future of Counter-Strike, where now we're getting one update that has everything that those updates would have if there's 1, 2, 3, or 4 of them all in 1 week, compiled now into one, which there's no complaints at all about that. The ones we've gotten as of recently have been super detailed in the blog post, but just like any other big release, that being a new game or new content, or in this instance a big bug fix, at times they can break the game or make it worse than it was before in certain areas. In today's video, I want to touch on exactly that. There's been an overload of recent bugs from these recent updates that need some clarification, and I feel like shouldn't be skipped over. Valve needs to say something about it sooner than later. Today's video sponsor is SkinsMonkey. SkinsMonkey is a buying and trading marketplace for Counter-Strike 2. Trade the skins you no longer want for something new, and in the case that your balance isn't enough for the item that you want, you can top it up by using code MANDO for a free $5 every $100 you spend, alongside a 35% deposit bonus if you top up with cash. They currently have a free Christmas gift for everyone watching, that being either a free skin, an additional deposit bonus up to 50%, or even a free balance on the site. The first gift is free and you can earn many more by trading through the site. In addition, they have prepared an advent calendar for everyone watching. You can earn XP, an extra deposit bonus, and even tickets to enter the giveaway for the 13 skins shown on screen. If interested, the link will be in the top of the description down below. Now, firstly, for today's video, let's discuss CS2's most recent bugs, which are some of, if not the worst Counter-Strike bugs to date. Now, number 1 is dating back to the IP bug. This is just a few weeks old, or actually not even that. Some people wonder how these get into the game or how they appear. Well, they don't always just appear. They usually come from something that Valve did or added to the game that people are now finding out exploiting. This came and happened to be from the biggest CS2 update to date, that being 4.5 gigabytes. Now, the Twitter user on screen was the first person I saw on Twitter to discuss this. He said, "Do not play CS2 right now. You can use XSS by using HTML in your Steam name." The below example showed someone setting their name to an IP grabber and getting the IP address of all players in the server. And then you can just use that and post it in chat, and you can post anyone and everyone's IP, whoever you choose. So yeah, it sounds like what you think it is most likely, where you could just be playing Counter-Strike and someone could grab your IP and post it in chat. It was pretty broken. Now, the odds of you actually getting doxxed from this, I'm not really sure, probably aren't too high, and probably weren't high when this happened, but it just shouldn't be happening in the first place. Now, luckily, Valve did send out a tweet just a couple hours later regarding this entire situation, saying that a fix was rolling out soon, and then within just a few minutes, it actually did, well, it wasn't in the game anymore. But there wasn't any clarification or an actual blog post for it, more so just, well, a shadow update. A lot of data miners had to just say on Twitter, the game is now safe to play, which it was, but a lot of players were hesitant for another couple weeks. And number 2 is broken Premiere. Now, this one isn't too big, and a lot of people probably didn't even really notice it. They thought they were just doing really good in Premiere. Now, Aquarius pointed this out just a few weeks ago, actually on the 1st of December, so now almost a whole month. But after that update in November, there was apparently an ELO giveaway, where if you were winning just a couple games in a row, you were going to start getting 800 to 1,000 plus points every game. This didn't matter who you were playing with or who you were put up against. You could all be level 5,000, have won 15,000 on your team. That 15,000 would still gain 800 to over 1,000 points. And this happened for almost a couple weeks. And even right now, it's not 100% if this has been adjusted or not. I'd love to hear some comments down below if it has. I, for one, haven't really run into anything. I'm at that point in Premiere where I'm 16 to 20,000. Cheaters aren't necessarily rampant, and I haven't seen anyone blatant, but there's definitely been a couple games where I'm just like, this guy's kind of shady. Now, number 3 is something that also happened in the exact same week, that being false game bans. Now, this, in my opinion, is almost inexcusable. There was no communication whatsoever with what was going on. Valve did act decently quickly, a lot more quick than they have been on other things in the past that have caused bans and just, well, problems like this in general. And they also reversed these bans at around 12 to 1 p.m. Eastern time on that day. But these false game bans were also caused from the previous update, and this could have happened 12 to 14, 15, 20 hours before, well, they actually got unbanned. And it didn't just stop there, but there were a few other complications that came from this, where once these people were unbanned, my friend, for instance, after he got banned and quickly unbanned, his trust factor was extremely low. And this is something that he had to deal with for the first few weeks of this happening, really up until this last couple. I'm not sure if it's just because he got a better trust factor by playing with people that don't have a bad trust factor. For now, it's gone away, which is very good, but it didn't just weigh down him, but other people he was playing with. Now, number 4 is the workshop inventory bug. It's pretty straightforward. You would download a map off the workshop, and even in CSGO, I was kind of skeptical of downloading maps that look very sus or don't have any reviews and just look very sussly put together. Now, Poggy put this out on Twitter where maps that have full panorama access can access your inventory, well, delete, move things, but they can't really do all too much aside from that. Now, this is one of the very few things on this list that Valve never really came out at all and talked about. I'm not really sure why. It's one, not just a security issue. Players want to know if they can download a map or not. It's not a good look. You shouldn't have to look up 30 different YouTube tutorials and check Twitter 24/7 to see if Counter-Strike 2 is playable and, well, your inventory is safe to some degree. Now, number 5 is pretty recent, and I saw this on Twitter within the last few days of recording, and this is the Nvidia driver bug with smokes. Now, Thor CS pointed this out, so I suggest you guys go check him out. He's a data miner for Counter-Strike 2. Now, he doesn't mention, and I'm not going to mention how you can do this and have this happen in your game so you get an advantage, but Thor CS on Twitter stated that I saw an exploit where you could see players through smoke with the Nvidia game filters. I played with the game filter settings and found a much better setting. Not sharing here for the obvious reasons, this is just ridiculous. You need to allow third-party software to use it. A temporary fix could disable MMQ users from using this launch option. As you can see on screen, what he's recording is when you pop a smoke, these people aren't necessarily 3D. You can't see the full model of them, but it's the shadows of the player and the things in the background that stick out the most where you can actually see the player through a smoke. Now, this is a pretty scary bug because you don't really know in-game who's actually using this, and I'm not sure in the long run of things if players who did enable this or have the option to for a little while are going to get banned. In the past, we have seen dozens, if not thousands, of different players be banned for inputting a simple console command that didn't really do much. It was, well, rather harmless, but also some that just completely broke the game and gave you free wall hacks. This is something that one just needs to be disabled overall, or have people from launching up the game and actually queuing for MM just, well, not let them do it. Not let them queue. They need to restart and reset this or turn it off completely. Now, these are just 5 big bugs, and, well, there's dozens more. Like I mentioned earlier, if y'all want a video breaking down all of the topics that I know about as of right now, the game-breaking bugs for Counter-Strike 2 that have happened and possibly will happen in the future, drop a comment down below. Now, the biggest takeaway from all this, what can Valve do to better the game and stop these things from happening? Because at this point, it feels like after every major update, something horrible follows. In my opinion, communication wouldn't necessarily solve this, but it would definitely help. Talk to us about why this is happening and what's causing this. An example is the game bans an IP bug. Now, to play devil's advocate, maybe a reason for them not discussing it is maybe Valve doesn't want to do it for security reasons. But after they fix it and bypass all of that so no one else can get into whatever's going on, I don't see why they can't talk about it at least. Players deserve an explanation. People should not be commenting on my YouTube channel like I'm Steam support and asking me if Counter-Strike is safe to play after the inventory, IP, and false game ban issue. We got multiple videos loaded up for this week. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Stay positive, stay sexy. I'm out, guys. Peace.